Oh, what a big stretch. All the boys piled out from the cat hotel, from the hutch in there. Hey, Tux, you didn't eat your chicken. Come on, Tux, let's go back up. Come on. Come on, Tux, let's go back up. Did you get confused? Good boy. It's over here. Come here. There you go. It's so early, Mom, he says. So early. Oh, Dusty. Hi. Hi. Hi, I got food. Forgot to film going in to see Gray again. You know, it's all in operation when Dawn and I are in there to give her that antibiotic, and 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. is antibiotic time. Panther is all excited to see me. He's doing good. Hey, bud. It's warmer in your bed. It's like 35 out here. So, not warm and not frigid. Good morning, Ruby. Well, Ruby says our arrival time this morning is 7:22. That's just about a miracle, but I'll take it. Just tired today. We're just kind of sitting here, racking up the miles and listening to the music. The sunrise is not as pretty today, although there has been a little bit of color. Ruby says it's 37. Moon is working on setting. I'm here at St. Monica's. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, I think you can. That tree down on the end is starting to bloom. Well, we do normally see trees starting to have their spring color, the early ones, sometime in February, so I guess that's not a super surprise yet. It seems a little early, and it's not February yet, despite me putting out the hearts yesterday. One of the things I wanted to do is to see how you set up Apple Music. I actually have it free for either 3 or 6 months right now. And the only reason why I turned it on was because I wanted some Christmas music, and you really can't get the Christmas music. I wanted good music without it. A couple years in a row I've had that problem, and it was like, I'll just turn on Apple Music. But I was curious, you know, I've got an iPhone and I wanted to see, so I have to log into my account, huh? Okay. I guess that means it wants me to scan that and go to the website, which I'll do. If I need to put in my password, it says, do you want to sign in to apple.com with your Apple ID? And I'm going to say, yep, I do. And it used my Face ID to confirm that it was all good, so I don't even think I'm going to have to use LastPass. Now it's asking me if I want to allow the Tesla to access my music, and I'm going to say yes after I'm going to say allow after I take a screenshot. Okay, screenshot taken. Your car will refresh to continue. Okay, well that's cool. Oh, and it is automatically. It took it a second, but it did. So now it should just make it easier. That's top picks. Those are not things on my, you can see I played. But if I go to my library, is it going to offer me all my playlists? Oh, it is going to offer me all my playlists. That's pretty cool. Okay. Things I've played recently and my playlists. Album songs. Okay, so if I want to come in and find Mom's favorites, they are in alphabetical order just like on my phone, so that's cool. Mom's faves. Yeah. There's a couple in here, I don't know that they're really, they sort of start favorites here and go down. There's a couple things thrown in that don't make sense, but way cool. A little easier than starting it up on my phone, I guess. I have got to remember to film it this afternoon or tomorrow morning, but when I enter the turnpike area, coming from either direction, almost every time I get a apply slight force to the steering wheel beep, and that's when it's never done the little white bar. And I still think it has something to do with that's where the stoplight used to be. It's really weird. It has nothing to do with whether or not I have jiggled the wheel recently, whether it can feel the torque. It just beeps in that location, and the beep says apply slight force. I mean, I've gone through a time or two and it hasn't done it, but 95% of the time it's beeping in both directions. I'm like, I didn't do anything. It just beeps in that spot with a message that isn't true at that point. I mean, if it beeped there, I had to kick up the speed. People will run you over. If they've moved it down to 45, after they got rid of the little circular loop around, and it's straight through because of uneven pavement, they've reduced the speed to 45. So when it probably should have been 45, it wasn't reduced, and now that it's all just nice and straight again, and the bump is not that big of a bump. Now they've reduced it to 45 through there, and Ruby sees the sign and she slows down whether everybody else slows down or not. But I'll try to catch the recording. I'll try. Of course, I'll do it and then it won't beep, but it's just kind of annoying, and you know, you don't want to be beeped out when nothing's going on. So I've been listening to the Apple Music since I hooked it up in downtown, and have a little bit of feedback, some personal and some, yes, Ruby, let's not slow down quite that much for the turning car. Some feedback, both personal and, you know, functionality wise. The first time I used the scroll wheel button to advance to the next song, it advanced to some song out of the playlist. It was really bizarre. But every time I've tried it since then, it's worked just fine. So I'm just gonna toss that glitch out and not worry about it. And then the other thing is when I either select a song on the screen or on my phone, mostly been on the screen, or I advance to the next song, it's just slower than I want it to be. It's not so slow it's not usable, but it's slower than I want it to be. So that is not super great. And I mean, I understand it's Bluetoothing between my phone and the car, or between the car and the cloud for my account, I guess, maybe. I don't know if I guess my phone wouldn't need to be around at this point for it to work. So it must be the cloud, like over the internet, the AT&T service. And it's just a little slow. I definitely having the presentation up on the screen, I think, is great. It works fine. I like how it's arranged and everything. And I do see that up there, half a mile, there's a blue lights, and it looks like an accident at one of those crossover things. I guess we'll find out in a minute. But the other thing I was going to say is when I listen to music, I drive at least 5 miles an hour faster than normal because I get to jamming. And if I ever don't hear the speed limit chime, it will be because I can't hear it. So I'm a little perky now that I've been listening to music. I probably should listen a little more and not just do my song, but you know, most of the time I'm listening to my book. I probably should listen to music a little more often and not just books, but you know, it is what it is. It's probably, you know, people on the road might appreciate me going a little bit faster, but it's probably better for my safety and car insurance if I don't. It looks like a disabled vehicle with a police officer helping, because it's right over the top of the hill. Can we not push them out of the way? Oh, it's an accident. It is an accident. Wow. the car behind had actually lifted the car in front up off the ground instead of just pushing it forward. I don't know that I've seen, I mean, it was, the back wheels were in the air. It hit the other car, but it did not look like it crumpled the hood much. So hopefully there were no injuries. I'm surprised they don't have an ambulance there already. Certainly you get people checked out for an accident like that. Well, I hate it for them. I'm really sorry that happened. I hope nobody's hurt. Well, I like quite the eclectic mix of music, and I was listening to my purchase playlist, which goes back to probably before the boys were born. So I enjoyed that. A little bit of Prince, a little bit of America You Can Do Magic. I hadn't heard that one in a while. That was great. I listened to a Dolly Parton song, then I listened to some Van Halen, listened to some music from James Bond movies. I bounce around a lot. I don't think anybody could handle listening to what I listen to with me when I listen to it like that. I just, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, bounce around. Yeah, a little distracting in the car too, probably for me, if I can't just pick a playlist and stick with it. But it's been a while since I heard some of these favorites, so if nothing else, I enjoyed it for today. Yeah, those times when you just don't want to get out of the car. It has a little bit to do with the fact that it's cold out there. Because Marty's bowl down on the ground is not good enough. Thankfully, Tux doesn't mind Marty coming up to eat. But don't let Morris or Stripe try that. Hey guys. Yeah, I guess I was wondering if you can hook the car up to your Apple account and not have Apple Music and still have access to your playlists. I need to research that. We're headed out on our walk. You know it's not very warm. Again. But it is January. It's always nice to get off the trail and come into the sun at the park. Yeah. It's all right out here this morning. We're having a pretty good pace and pretty good conversation. As you can see, there's not a lot of people here, but there might be a person or two on the track this morning. Well, I'm warmed up now, Donnie.
Yeah, me too.
And especially nice in the sun.
Yep.
I think we're going to be like 58 today.
Yep.
So it's going to warm up pretty good.
Well, that sun's pretty strong, so it makes sense.
We've been talking diet and exercise again. I'll spare you guys. It's the monthly test, Donnie. Sharon Harris is going off. When you live within the 10-mile radius, you get alerts, tests of the sirens. Hey, buddy. You are my first priority after my walk, because that little in and out at 6 a.m. just cleaning and delivering food does not count as TLC, does it, bud? Are you a good lap kitty? I don't know if he would enjoy laps as much if he was free to go wherever he wanted to, but in our current arrangement, you like naps, lap sitting, don't you? You're a lap kitty. I have the blanket underneath me, so if he makes biscuits if he needs, it doesn't matter. It seems to make it feel a little bit more like a platform. I know Stripe doesn't ever want to be just on my legs, but maybe, just maybe, if I have a blanket in my lap, it seems to add security for them. Just a good boy. I'm doing food prep. I'm making deviled eggs again. It's primal mayonnaise, green onions, bacon bits, a dash of garlic powder, a dash of cayenne pepper. And I use, typically, this is the mayonnaise I use. I also use the Sir Kensington avocado oil, whichever one's cheaper. I peeled and deveined a pound of shrimp, and I've got 3 pounds of beef stew meat cut up and marinating in teriyaki sauce for a few days from now. I gotta peel the eggs. Oh wow, they put up that fence now. I don't know what is happening in there. That is not the shopping center going back on the right just a little ways. I don't know. It's right here across from my pretty trees coming out of Fuquay. Yeah, it probably will be a blessing that I will not be on the road to downtown Raleigh and back. in the fall and the spring this coming year, because the construction out here is just really not getting any better. It's a pretty new afternoon out there. I don't know exactly what the temperature is yet. Ruby currently says 55. That's probably she's been out of the garage long enough to be accurate. Any Teslas on that car carrier? No. There's still at least 3 on the lot in there though. The 3 Model 3s. Alright, I'm remembering to record. We'll see what it does here. I'm on autopilot. It's currently max of 57. It's just gonna see the 45 sign and slow down. I'm gonna bump her back up to 47. Getting close to where it happens. Yep, there it was. I'm telling you, she thinks I went through a stoplight. Couldn't find it and she's confused. Wow, they're protesting at the federal courthouse again. I saw the word Guantanamo. Huh. I would say it's a different group of protesters. They appeared to be asking for Guantanamo Bay to be closed. End the torture, one of the signs said. Alright. Utility work today. Oh joy. Let's tear up New Bern Avenue a little bit more. And quite a bit of work here on the left for these homes that they put in, these new modern looking homes. Yeah, there's a big hole right in the middle of the road. Oh well. That's a pretty plain looking box there.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't.
We know what's in the box. Wow. Oh, that's the keyboard that came with it. Yeah.
Keyboard.
And this is refurbished?
Refurbished, yeah. Yeah, that's not, actually feels, it's an HP keyboard, so it's not a piece of junk keyboard. And it's a Dell
mouse.
It's a
hopefully a genuine Lenovo power pack. Remember, this is just to be our print server.
Yeah, this is
scan server.
This is the little computer.
Think Center, Lenovo.
Yeah.
But we determined it's not an emergency since we were able to figure out how to print to our printer from our phone.
Yeah, so this is a display port to HDMI adapter. And since it apparently doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi, they gave you a little Wi-Fi dongle.
Oh my God.
Well, I use...
Oh, that's because they just Ethernet it up. They just have cable, direct cable, which is what you're going to do too.
Exactly what I'm going to do.
Sure. Yeah, I get why it's not a portable laptop. It doesn't need to be Wi-Fi. You're not going to be moving it around.
Yeah, I agree.
Before Don goes back to work, I was hoping he would help me put up my new Valentine's Day bear. I really like having one up here on the... away from Tux, up here on the compost bin, and everybody clearly sees it. It's out of the. It's not in anybody's way. We can the way Don designed it. We can still lift the lid to put compost in.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
All good.
Hey Tux, Gray needs cheering. Hi. Yeah, just don't lick. Who is head in the mirror, Tux? Huh? Hey Gray. Oh. Hey, bud. You can lick the top of her head once or twice. Just don't start giving her a bath. She's very happy to see you. You hear Gray purring? Hey, Gray. Hey, Tux. Oh, she's happy to see you. She is. She's so happy. Okay, that's enough kisses. We haven't got the eyeball, so we're good. The top of the head's not a problem. I'm gonna put in her antibiotic eye drop after you visit her. I didn't want to make her eyes smell funny. Gray has a loud purr motor. And she is willing to open that eye, just not 100% all the time. You know what this means, right? This means I'm ready to start on a new modular building. And I had talked one time before Christmas about building this newspaper building. The dark red seemed like a great building for February for Valentine's Day. I am pleased to say I'm going to get to start on it even a little bit earlier than that. Hoping to lay down, get started today. This has some moving parts for the newspaper machine inside the building. It has some Technique parts on the bottom floor and I think an elevator in the back. So I'm quite eager to work on those, to build those. Should be fun. Well, there's a good start for today. It's 4:45. Dawn and I are headed to the landfill. I want to go with them. But I'm happy I got started and I sorted through some of the dark red bricks that had come in from various sellers and got myself organized a little bit too.
We're doing our favorite thing.
It is not my favorite thing, not even close.
Oh, it's not? Huh?
No.
Well, thank you for coming with me.
You're welcome. I don't mind keeping you company, but it's not my favorite thing.
Well, you think this part's not enjoyable. You ought to get out when you actually get to the landfill.
Well, I've offered before, and you always tell me not to get out.
Not a pretty girl's
And I was
job.
sincere in my offer, but
I know.
well, we're here. It's almost dark, and it's not crowded. They're open till 7, though. We were stopping in to get eggs at Mr. Ball's, but he's gone home for the day.
All the lights are
It's
off.
all dark. We could call him, but we don't want to. We won't. If he left for the afternoon, that was for a reason. Hey, which delivery guy do I need to go after?
I'm looking. FedEx.
Well, in the past, they have been known to be the ones that were problematic. I am not happy. We would not normally have been out here now.
Yep.
I'm going to go after somebody.
Yeah, I don't think it was here when we came by. Because it was daylight then.
Yeah.
And I would have noticed it.
Yeah.
I mean, or you would have noticed it. You were right on that side of the car.
So, Don's wearing a relic today. IBM System View Information Management. See the big eye? But turn around because Don's a superhero. There's Captain Info or Info Man. Captain Info, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of our promo shirts. This is our product, and this is one of our promo shirts from like
1995.
Well, I was going to say 98, but
okay,
yeah.
98.
98 probably.
Yeah, nothing wrong with nice to be 25 years old.
Yeah, we found it the other day, and I have they gave all of us girls, the manager, like 5 of us girls, a black dress that has Captain Info embroidered on it, and I still have that upstairs too, so just a little memorabilia today.
Yep.
I haven't firmed up shopping for tomorrow yet, but I assume at this point maybe we're just handing each other gifts to open at home on our own instead of getting together. I don't know that for sure. I'm trying not to be bummed about it. It was, Nobody's fault that the weather acted up right before Christmas. You can see Michelle's presents here with the fancy mermaid paper and then stuff for the kids. And there's one more big box in the garage also. But I'm ready for tomorrow if I need to be. That was one of the, after food prep, I did gift prep. And yeah, so I'm ready.